So our presentation are on the different landmarks of the world. So what is one famous landmark or somewhere memorable that you have visited?
One famous landmark that I have visited that was memorable was in Los Angeles that I visited the Hollywood.
For me, it was my most recent famous landmark that I visited was the Eiffel Tower. I went there with my family during this summer to Paris. So the first landmark is the Golden Gate Bridge located in San Francisco. The objective of this bridge was to connect SF to the Marin County. The bridge was engineered by Joseph B. Strauss, beginning the construction on June 5th, 1933. When it opened in May 29th, 1937, it set the record to have the longest bridge span. This was 4,200 feet of the distance between each support. So the color of the bridge does not correlate with the name golden. It is actually called International Orange. The second place is the Louvre Museum, located in Paris, France. After it has opened, it became the most visited art museum in the world, with 15,000 people visiting each day to view their extensive art collections. It was originally a fortress before it became a museum. Dating back to the year 1190, King Philip VIII of France built the Louvre to protect the city from intruders. So one of the most famous art piece that is in the Louvre is the Mona Lisa. The portrait is assumed to be the wife of Francesco del Giocondo. The second painting here is called The Wedding at Cana. It is a story from the Old Testament of the Bible. The painting is by the artist named Paulo Veronese. And lastly, this is a statue named Venus de Milo. Discovered in the 1820s, it was offered to King Louis VIII. It is one of the most famous statues representing the goddess Venus.
And the third landmark we have was the Great Wall, which is located in the north part of China and is built across 15 provinces, starting from Beijing. And here's a map that's showing the cities and province that it has crossed. And the distance of the Great Wall was 21,196.18 kilometer. The history of the Great Wall. So some of the wall was built in 7th century BC. And later on, the Great Wall was connected together and was continued building in the Qing Dynasty. The Great Wall was built for protection against various nomadic groups from the Eurasian steppe. The Great Wall was continued building on for more than 2,000 years, and the largest part of the construction was built in the Ming Dynasty. So part of the Great Wall was also called the Ming Great Wall. And the fourth landmark we have was the Summer Palace. It's called East, and it is located in China in the Haidian district in Beijing. The total area of the Summer Palace was 2.9 square kilometer, and it was constructed in Qing Dynasty and was reconstructed and enlarged during the Guangxu period. The Summer Palace was dominated by the Longevity Hill and Kunming Lake. The Kunming Lake actually take up 3/4 of the Summer Palace, which is a big area and mostly water. And it was actually an imperial garden in the Qing Dynasty. And the question we have was, what's the country you want to visit the most?
The country I want to visit the most currently is Sweden to see their like the nature and landscape and churches.
The country I want to visit the most might be Canada, Japan or Korea. I want to visit friends and families in Canada and want to have trip to Japan or Korea.
So for the deliverable, the interns have to create a travel itinerary. Can you open the document, please? So on a Go slide, the component is for them to plan a 5-day trip on any chosen country. So they have to research the places that they're visiting and like why they want to visit those places, and then state how they're going to transport from each place. And then a hotel room or where they're gonna stay at for each night. And then lastly, to calculate the total cost of the entire trip.